Welcome back. You're watching Nation Tonight. In an unfortunate incident, a man from Hyderabad died during a surgery to enhance his smile ahead of his wedding. 28-year-old Laxmi Narayan Vinjan died while undergoing the smile designing procedure at the FMS International Dental Clinic in Hyderabad's Jubilee Hills, a clinic that claims it is one of the most awarded dental clinics in India with more than 55 awards. Now, Laxmi Narayan's father alleges that he died due to anesthesia overdose. Even though his father says the family was not aware that Laxmi Narayan was undergoing this procedure, his father said that he fainted during the surgery, and when they brought him to the hospital, he was unfortunately declared dead. The question is, why has it become necessary to correct our physical features ahead of a special day? And despite the risks involved, why is the cosmetic surgery market expected to triple in the next 10 years from its current worth of 6 lakh crore? To talk more on this on the broadcast, I'm joined by Dr. Shreya Shetty. He's a psychiatrist. I'm also joined by cosmetologist Dr. Ashvith Shetty. Good evening and namaskar to both of you. Thank you very much for joining us on Mirror Now. Dr. Ashvith Shetty, I'd like to start with you. This is largely a reason that has been given. The correction of smile is more of a dental surgery procedure, and correct me if I'm wrong. But what do you think might have happened here during this procedure?
Hi, before I start, it's very difficult to say what exactly could have happened. It could be, allergy to the anesthetic. This is what I feel. Or, sometimes when you do multiple procedures at the same time, it can be too taxing to your body. So that's also a possibility. I feel could be anesthesia.
And isn't all this tested earlier, Dr. Ashvith? Once you're readying the patient for this procedure, isn't all of this checked pre-procedure?
It is a procedure to do the test dose for anesthesia, but it's not 100% foolproof, right? Because when you're testing, you're using a very, very minute dose. But when you're actually doing the procedure, you might be injecting a larger volume. So at that time, you may not detect anything. But unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, it can happen. Very, very rarely.
Okay, so what his father is alleging is the fact that there might have been an overdose of anesthesia. So there could be a case where there has been negligence on part of the medical team there. But Dr. Shreya Shetty, this incident lends itself to the larger discussion of how the cosmetic procedures are now gaining more and more significance in people's lives. Laxmi Narayan was going through this so-called smile correction surgery ahead of his special day, ahead of one of the most important days of his life, that of his wedding. I just want to understand what is leading people to all of this, leading to this dissatisfaction with your physical features.
It may be not dissatisfaction, but it may be enhancement. So, for example, in Korea, they all want to have, they don't want to have the chinky eyes, and they're gifted by the parents on their birthdays money to change their eyes so that they look like a Western individual. What has happened in globalization is that most of us are looking for the external features, color of the car, but the internal journey is seldom happening. So people forget that how you feel defines how you look. How you look does not define how you feel. So it's extremely important to understand that if you feel good, if you feel healthy, your cheeks will shine and your eyes will glow. And that lesson is very rarely shared or told in educational institutes or in the families. My condolences to his family. I feel extremely sad at this incident and really pained, though I don't know him, because young man, and I'm really sad. At the same time, I would check with this dentist whether he has taken a mental health opinion, because it's extremely important to understand that any change in the nose, face, etc., sometimes it could be just a thought in the mind, which can be corrected by good counseling, good psychotherapy. That you don't need this at all. You look good, and when we help the person move through his internal journey or her internal journey. He or she becomes more comfortable about his features or her features, and then such surgeries can actually be avoided. Going by the market economy, you do this, you want this, I will do this, is not the right medical approach for any correction on the face.
Okay, Dr. Ashvith Shetty, let me come to you. You know, you're in the middle of it all. This is a booming industry. This is an industry that is expecting to grow in the next few years. Do you see more and more people coming to you for corrective surgeries, and what are their reasons behind going through such procedures despite knowing the risks that are involved?
So, the number of people getting cosmetic surgeries or enhancement has definitely increased. When I started my practice, people, usually the brides would come to do like some changes because they wanted to look beautiful for their wedding day. But with the advent of social media, Instagram, and how, there's a trend of making reels, like you're constantly exposed to social media. So I think everyone is feeling the pressure to do some enhancement. So that's what's happening.
And when they come to you, Dr. Ashvith, are they told elaborately about the challenges that might be involved, the risks that might be involved? Yes, cosmetic surgeries help in cases of, burn injuries and accident cases, and we're thankful that it exists. And with the medical, field has been able to come up with these solutions. But there are also cosmetic surgeries which have gone terribly wrong, and we've seen many celebrity cases as well. So when a person does come to you, are they told specifically and elaborately about the risks that are involved?
So whenever a patient comes to me, I will give them the benefit as well as the risk ratio. And what I feel is we should learn to say no when it is not required. What's happening is when a doctor says no to a patient, the patient automatically goes to one more doctor. They do doctor hunting or doctor shopping. So finally, I think someone will agree. So the main thing is, when to not do it, and especially see why the patient is wanting the surgery. Is it like, is there some pressure? If the patient is under pressure, usually I think we should not do it. We should see the mental psyche of the patient, see how he is, then only take a call. Main thing here is when to say no. And definitely there is, everything is explained before doing anything.
Dr. Harish Shetty, that's the main problem, right? When to say no. We don't know when to say no. We don't know whether we should be saying no or not. वो सारी समस्या तो वही है.
इसलिए that is very important, when to say no.
Yeah. Dr. Harish Shetty, how does one gauge that? There is a society that is, going ahead with the latest trends. They're fashionable, they're stylish, they're all good looking. They seem to be having a perfect life. And so we want to keep up with how the society is moving. We don't want to get outcast. We don't want to be left behind. But that's the, the biggest problem then. When do we say no? How do we say no?
She's asking you, Ashvith.
I'm asking you, Dr. Harish Shetty.
Oh, you're asking me. Yeah. I think that you need to knock at your soul when you are sitting in a clinic, and you need to see to it that your EMIs for your house and your car should not pressurize you from taking up something where you have to say no. Also, it's a war between your purse and your conscience. And it's important to listen to your conscience if you have to be a long-term player. If you want to make a quick buck and ruin the health of human beings and also your own health, because when you do something, when you have to say no, and if you do it, you're not easy with your heart, you're not easy with your soul, you can't sleep right. So the war between the conscience and the soul should be won by the soul.
Okay, my last question to you, Dr. Ashvith Shetty, then, the fact that there's always going to be this tussle whether we should go for a cosmetic surgery or not, because we're unsatisfied or we want to, enhance a certain feature in our bodies. But then what would you advise to young girls and boys who, think that they should go for a cosmetic procedure?
So, my advice would be first, concentrate on the career and do not go for very extensive surgeries. Go for non-surgical procedures first. Something like really mild, maybe creams or maybe peels or maybe lasers. There's no risk in that. Start with that. Please do not go anything that, unless it's like really required for a drastic surgical procedures.
All right. So that is something that we need to keep in mind. I'll wrap it up here. Dr. Harish Shetty and Dr. Ashvith Shetty, thank you very much to both of
Thank
you
you so much.
for
Thank
speaking
you.
with us on Mirror Now and sharing your perspective. Thank you so much. Namaskar.